Man-made virus, watch the millions die. Biggest profit of their lives. Here's inflation, that's your prize. This is Carmageddon.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Male Soap Opera Moment, your official Royal Rumble preview show, the 37th Royal Rumble since 1988. One strong man throwing another strong man over ye old ropes in the squared circle. Let's get to it. First things first, I want to acknowledge, I'll do it, Booch, I'll do it, the When's World Prediction Champion. Best of luck here on the show, but also best of luck winning the Boochcast belt back from that 9-year-old. With that, let's get going.
Yes, acknowledge me. The Booch is back again, the prediction champion, the true prediction champion. And I'm here to talk about the Royal Rumble because the champ only talks about shows and events that matter. That's why I didn't waste time with that Raw debut on Netflix or Saturday night's main event, because they're like conversation in a strip club. A complete waste of time. But of course, the Royal Rumble is the first stop on the road to WrestleMania, so the champ had to grace you with his presence as we talk about this event, where I plan on retaining my Male Soap Opera Moment Prediction Championship and regaining my Boochcast Prediction Championship, so I can once again show the world that the Booch is the undisputed prediction champion.
Hey everybody, Desmond Dagenhare here, Damascus Des as the Winds generously calls me. I'm here to make my predictions and make them official for the Royal Rumble. There are only 4 matches in this Rumble, and I think that even so, we could very much have very different answers, especially because 2 of these matches are 30-man matches. Obviously, one was a 30-woman match, but same concept. So we're going to start out with Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match for the WWE Championship. I don't think that there's any question who's winning this one. I cannot see Cody Rhodes losing at the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens is just a great rival to have leading into his true rivalry, which will be determined at the Rumble itself. I really believe that Cody is walking out as the champion. That belt is staying right around his waist, and he will drop that title at WrestleMania. Is it possible that he loses it beforehand? Sure. Is it likely? No, not really.
Well, since we're talking about undisputed champions, I guess it's only fitting that I give my prediction for this. It's, of course, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Obviously, this is an undisputed championship, and we can actually call it that this time, because Cody has the WWE Championship, Kevin Owens has the Winged Eagle Championship that he stole a couple months ago at the first Saturday night's main event. Well, not the first one ever, but the first one in this new Triple H era. And also, it's going to be a ladder match. It's going to be brutal, it's going to be violent, and it's going to be one for the ages. But there is no denying that Cody Rhodes is going to win this match. Cody has been champ for almost a year, and I believe if Cody is going to lose the title, it's going to be at WrestleMania. Now, obviously, I'm hoping going forward that other world title reigns won't last this long, but because Cody did beat Roman Reigns, who was champ for damn near 4 years, it made sense for Cody to have at least 1 year long reign, because he beat the most dominant champion of our era. So that's why I get it. But to drop it at the Rumble makes no sense, especially with all the stories that are being told and the money that can be made. And Cody does eventually need to drop the title, but it needs to be at Mania. So 100% Cody Rhodes is retaining the WWE Championship and putting an end to this ridiculous, crazy shit that Kevin Owens is doing.
Yeah, guys, I think you raised some really valid points. It's just that this matchup has been lopsided, right? We've never seen Kevin Owens beat Cody Rhodes. I believe these guys have tangoed 7 times, and I think only once at a pay-per-view. Bash in Berlin back in November. No, I'm not counting Saturday night's main event because we've already talked about that. It's not a pay-per-view. This is an interesting one because I want to go with the logic that it doesn't make sense for Rhodes to drop the championship, but it also doesn't make sense for Kevin Owens to keep getting buried. And there's a way for Cody Rhodes to get back into that title picture, win it back before Mania, and then face Roman Reigns or whoever. This is a tough one for me. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Fortune favors the bold, so does the poorhouse. I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. I think he's going to rectify some stuff. I think finally he'll get some peace of mind ever since the beginning of this, really, when these guys were working as a tag team. But since that whole thing at Bad Blood, it's been Bad Blood. And this hopefully will end this, at least for the time being. Like I said, there's an opportunity for Cody to get it back. Should he lose? Hopefully he will. Maybe it's in a triple threat scenario to kind of take some heat off of Kevin Owens by dropping it to Cody in a triple threat match. So again, just to be very clear, I'm going with Kevin Owens to defeat Cody Rhodes. Definitely not in a clean way. It's going to be weird. It's going to be dirty. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Kevin Owens wins this match. Final answer.
2 out of 3 falls for the WWE Tag Team titles. This is the only match on the card that no matter who wins, I'm happy. First of all, I'm just glad to see the Tag Team titles actually being defended on a pay-per-view for once. Because since WrestleMania 40, we have yet to see a tag title match on any pay-per-views. I brought this up before in the past. And I feel like the Tag Team titles have been losing their value since they got split. So hopefully this is the start of getting these belts to mean something again. Especially since they're being called World Tag Titles and WWE Tag Titles and not Raw and SmackDown. So they have their own identity. So I'm hoping that will happen. Now, I've been mulling my head back and forth on DIY and Motor City Machine Guns and who could win. This is a hard one for me to call, but I'm going to say this. Because DIY are the champions right now, and I don't think the Motor City Machine Guns got a very long title reign the first time out, I think the Motor City Machine Guns are going to win this match and therefore have a long title reign the second go around. So I'm going to go with the Motor City Machine Guns.
Now, I'm going to go into the Tag Team Championship match. We have DIY. We have the Motor City Machine Guns. They've had a great rivalry so far since Motor City Machine Guns have made their debut, and DIY turning heel was huge, making this a great starting rivalry for Motor City. This is one where I've been back and forth a good bit on. I know Vinny told me that he's been back and forth a good bit on as well. But I'm going to say I think that it is now Motor City Machine Guns time. They were given the title when they first got here, and then it was taken away, cheated away by DIY, and I think this is when Motor City Machine Guns are going to get their comeuppance. They're going to get their payback. They're going to win the titles back, and I am looking forward to this match. It should be phenomenal.
Yeah, this best 2 out of 3 falls match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns, a tough one to call, guys. And I'm not sure if WWE is ready to hand it back. These guys, DIY, have been doing it themselves for about 57 days since they've won it back on SmackDown against these guys, right? So is it time 2 months later to swap, or do you push it further a bit more, a few more months, let the hype build? And I'm going to go against the grain again here. I'm going to go with DIY retaining their WWE Tag Team Championships for at least another night.
Now we're going to go into the Royal Rumble. And this is a 30-minute match. We have so many huge stars have thrown their names into the Men's Rumble. They've made a huge deal about it. We've got everybody from John Cena to CM Punk to Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. This is going to be a massive thing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Penta can do in the 30-man match because it'll be exciting. I'm looking to see what Kofi does because this will be his first time doing a Royal Rumble as a heel in a long time. So I'm very interested in seeing what he does with the Rumble. The match itself, the 30-man match, is always going to be a little chaotic, but it should also be pretty fun. I'm going with my heart on this one, and it may or may not happen, but I really hope it does. I think we're going to see John Cena go against Gunther at Mania for that World Heavyweight Championship, and it's time for him to get his 17th title. So we're going to see John Cena win the Royal Rumble. That's my prediction. That's in my heart. I feel that. I hope among hope that's what we get.
Yes, the men's Royal Rumble match. This is the match that everyone's going to be paying attention to, not just because it's the Royal Rumble, but because of the stacked card that they've announced thus far. It's a 30-man Royal Rumble. We already got the first 15 people all ready to go. The other half's most likely going to be Legend returns, NXT people getting a chance to shine, a possible appearance from Joe Hendry in TNA, because now WWE has a partnership with TNA, so we might see a couple of TNA wrestlers show up in this Rumble as well. So that's going to be very exciting. So far confirmed, we have Rey Mysterio, Chad Gable, Braun Breaker, Shinsuke Nakamura, Penta, Cero Miedo, Sami Zayn, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and of course, John Cena. Now, a lot of people think John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble. And that's a very good choice to make because this is the last time John Cena will ever compete in a Royal Rumble match. It won't be his last match ever, but it'll be his last Royal Rumble match. So John Cena would be a logical choice. And up until this past Monday, I was seriously considering picking John Cena. However, after what I saw on Monday night with the promo segment between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, I now believe that Punk is going to win the Rumble. And with all due respect to John Cena, Cena doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble to get a title shot. They've already mentioned if he doesn't win the Rumble, he can go to the Elimination Chamber, win the Chamber, and fight for the other belt. So, since John Cena is advertised for the Elimination Chamber in March, because he said in his speech when he gave that first announcement that he was retiring, he said the Royal Rumble will be his last, the Elimination Chamber will be his last, WrestleMania 41 will be the last WrestleMania he competes in. So he is confirmed for those 3 pay-per-views. Now, hopefully he does all the other pay-per-views after that, but those are at least the 3 he's in. And to me, it makes no sense for John Cena to go to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view on his final year and not compete in the Elimination Chamber match himself. I think he should do that. And I'll even go as far as to say, when Money in the Bank rolls around, if he's not the world champion, he should be in the Money in the Bank. When they get to November and they have War Games, he should be in War Games. Cena should be taking advantage of every single match stipulation that he can on his final go-around. So I believe Cena will win the world title at WrestleMania, but he'll do it by winning the Elimination Chamber. So for the Royal Rumble, I'm going with the best in the world, CM Punk.
Man, this men's Royal Rumble match is the toughest one for me to call because there's so many choose your own adventure paths here, right? And interwinding so many intersecting storylines. You look at the history of this. The only person that is really a dark horse in this is, in my mind, Jey Uso. He's never won. Never. Is this a time for WWE to pull the trigger on main event Jey Uso and actually let him main event, let him be his namesake? I'm not so sure. I don't think so at this point. Now, not to say that could not be the case next year or the year to follow. Is it Cena's year? Well, to Damascus Dez's point, he win his 17th championship, right? And his third Royal Rumble. This would be his third win. But to Booch's point again, does he need this win to have that match? I don't think so either. It's very interesting. Booch mentioned CM Punk. Would he get some payback after last year's result where he was tossed out by Cody Rhodes? Interesting stuff there. Of course, you have Seth freaking Rollins, who hasn't won since 2019. And then there's another one, Drew McIntyre, who could be considered a dark horse. Don't know. He hasn't won since 2020 when he eliminated Roman Reigns. To me, all of these guys, it could be anybody. And for that reason, I'm throwing them all out. I'm throwing the baby out with the bathwater and making way for the final boss. I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson comes in, and whether it's at number 30 or whatever, he comes in and wins this. Listen, he's the final boss. He's the man in charge, Mr. TKO. It makes sense for the build as we approach Mania. It makes sense. But we heard him say the last time, he acknowledged Roman Reigns as the head of the table, as the tribal chief. It was a thing, but it seemed too easy. It seemed too like, wait, what? That's it? I think they are saving this turn and the cap to all that build that we saw as Rock walking outside, throwing people around, drinking his Terramana, then getting in his truck and driving away. Probably not, because he's safer than that, but you know what I mean. Storyline wise, this is so sensical, it makes sense. I am going out on another limb here. I might fall off this tree altogether this Saturday at Royal Rumble live from Indianapolis. I'm going with the People's Champion, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, to win the Royal Rumble match.
Yes. The match that no one gives a shit about. The Women's Royal Rumble. And the reason I say that is because A, there's nothing really interesting going on here with this match. And also because we know the winner of this match is not going to main event night one of WrestleMania. So what's the point in even watching it? And also because I know exactly who's going to win this. So far for the Women's Rumble, we have Bayley, Mid Morgan, the False Flair is coming back, Nia Jax, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Lyra Valkyria, Raquel Rodriguez, Io Sky, and Ivy Nile. The only thing that's going to be interesting about this match is the possible return of Jade Cargill, because she's been out of action for a while with a kayfabe injury. They've been running her off TV. So I think Jade Cargill might make a comeback here, and she might be on a mission to find out who attacked her, assuming she doesn't know. Or she might look for revenge on the person who attacked her. And it makes sense for her to want to do that. So that might be an interesting thing to see in the Rumble. Other than that, the only thing that's going to be interesting to see is, again, Legend returns, NXT call-ups, potential ones, and TNA wrestlers. TNA knockouts, as they call it. So that's always going to be of interest. And as far as who's going to win, it's going to be Charlotte. They're going to give Charlotte Flair this win, and either Rhea Ripley or Tiffany Stratton is going to get buried by Charlotte. They're going to hand the belt back to Charlotte Flair, because they feel like enough time has gone by where fans are going to be okay with it. And we're not. We're not okay with it. Yes, she's improved in the ring. But the fact is, she's still a Nepo baby and the damage is done. You can't repair the damage you've already caused. And most likely she'll pick Rhea Ripley so they can have their rubber match because they fought at WrestleMania 36 for the NXT Women's title. Charlotte won then. They had a second match at WrestleMania 39 for the SmackDown Women's title, and Rhea Ripley won there. So they're tied at 1 apiece at WrestleMania. So it would make sense for them to fight at WrestleMania 41 if Charlotte was going to win the Rumble, which I don't want her to, but if she's gonna, Rhea's the logical choice to have that rubber match. It makes no sense for her to feud with Tiffany Stratton. It would just be goddamn ridiculous. And especially if Charlotte's going to win the title back, which again, I don't want her to. But if she's gonna, I'd rather she take it from Rhea than Tiffany Stratton. I love Rhea Ripley. But Tiffany needs this push. Rhea Ripley's already an established name. Tiffany needs to still establish her name. Because if Rhea loses the belt, she can live to get over another day. If Charlotte takes it from Tiffany, she's buried, she's dead, she's done. So, reluctantly, I am going with Charlotte Flair to win the Women's Royal Rumble, and you may see me have an ugly meltdown on Twitch.
Now for the Women's Royal Rumble. This one doesn't have the hype. I think that what's going to be really cool about the Women's Royal Rumble is that we're definitely going to be having some TNA stars, and they've got a much better women's division than we do. That being said, and I know it's not going to make a lot of people happy, but I think we're going to see Charlotte Flair win the Women's Royal Rumble. The reason? It's simple. 1, she's announced her return, and 2, Rhea Ripley's champion. I think this will be the rubber match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair at Mania. And as of right now, I'm saying Rhea would beat Charlotte. But we'll see how that goes. But it doesn't matter. The Women's Royal Rumble match, winner, Charlotte Flair. Sorry, Vinny.
And then there was one, the Women's Royal Rumble match. Again, Charlotte Flair winning is too much of a sure thing. I think it's so sure of a thing that the creative team is swerving us. Could it be an NXT call-up? Could it be somebody that maybe we've seen once or twice? I don't know. I'm going to lean toward another really outlier outcome here. I've gone out. I've been bold on this prediction show. Why stop now? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the flow. I'm going to go for it. And I think that we see the return of the man, Becky Lynch. Seth freaking Rollins' better half. Coming out, making her comeback, her appearance since going off the show many months ago for personal reasons. I also think we're going to see the return of Little Miss Bliss. Alexa Bliss, that's right. You heard it here. And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I think we're going to see her. But one thing you will always definitely see is Damascus Dez.
Thank you very much for listening. Keep paying attention. Call me out if I'm wrong.
Vinny Bucci.
Side note, you can check us out, twitch.tv/theboochcast for the WWE Royal Rumble watch party.
And yours truly saying, have a nice day.
Later, y'all.
Bang, bang.